Hello, everyone. My name is Drew Dosek, and welcome to Trading the Close. Man, the markets are very, very whippy today. A lot of buying pressure and a lot of selling pressure, but ultimately it ended up with basically a flat day on the markets. Tomorrow, keep in mind, we've got PCE data that's going to be released at 8:30 in the morning. We're anticipating a 0.3% increase, which was also the same thing that occurred during the last PCE data release. So we could have some fireworks or movement if the price doesn't fit right there. So keep in mind and watch the charts tomorrow morning at 8:30. Besides that, let's jump into the action today. All right, as you see here on the screen, we've got Dow Jones down 0.13%, NASDAQ down 0.1%, S&P 500 basically flat, down 0.09%. U.S. oil had a flat day, down 0.15%. Gold is pushing up. We'll get into that chart in a little bit. And Bitcoin had a small recovery from the other day. But just like what I described in previous Trading the Closes, we do have a lot of red and a lot of green on flat days. We had Apple up, Nvidia down, Google down 1.37%, Meta down 0.9%. This producer segment over here was hit a little bit hard, as well as the energy sector too. But ultimately, it was a flat day in the market. So let's jump into some charts. Yesterday, I mentioned and highlighted the power of the sleeper hold. It's a trading course that I put out, Mastering the Overnight Trade. This set up perfectly to a T, and we did see continued selling pressure today. We did have a little bit of a bounce, like I said, on the S&P 500, but ultimately, this 50% area of the parallel is holding price down in the near term. Any bulls out there with the S&P in the market, you want to see price action maintained right here. And then I do believe in the coming days, potentially even next week, we have a shot at getting back above this area. If we do fall down, gap fill on the spiders, 564.14 is going to be the area to watch for support. Notice all that consolidation there. That should hold price. On to Bitcoin. Bitcoin here is still chopping right along this trend line, and it's doing its best to try to save itself right here on this area. If you do, again, if you want bulls to be in this market with Bitcoin, you need to get above 90,000 and hang out there. But the more we keep tagging this area and maintaining this trend line, that's telling me price action is going to go lower. And I'm going to get into reasons why it's going to go lower when we jump into some XRP and Solana towards the end of the show. All right, so next chart we have is gold. Gold had a fantastic day today, and what you see here, I added an additional trend line. This trend line has been catching gold's price on the move up and rejecting price action. So tomorrow, I'm going to be paying close attention to this area to see if gold is able to get up above, and then following week, next week on Monday, will we confirm above that? Because if we do, then this trend line becomes support, and that's a big change for gold. So heads up there on gold. Into silver. Silver is doing fantastic. It's having an awesome day. Look at this move up, 2.35%. Next area of resistance on silver is going to be up here, highlighted on the chart at $34.86. On to oil. Oil is still maintaining this area. Yesterday, I mentioned this trend line now is support, and it's doing just that. You can see price action today came almost all the way down and kissed this area, but has bounced right back up. So that tells me still we're right above that trend line, giving us support, but we're also into resistance. So likely what oil is going to do over the next couple of days, as long as it stays bullish, is going to stay right in this area, maybe for about 3 to 5 days of trading, and then it's got an opportunity to move up higher on the charts, up here to this declining trend line, $73.97. Now, I wanted to bring your attention to Google. Google didn't have one of the greatest of days, but mainly I want to draw your attention to this parallel. Whenever we have these parallels, they're able to give us a lot of information as to the insight of where the price action is going to go. And when we have an inclining parallel channel like this, they typically break to the downside. And so as you see here, we did break down, never confirmed, got back in, did confirm, and now the support got broken through again. So that tells me the Google chart is fairly weak in the near term. So we could see selling pressure on Google in the next couple weeks of trading. Now, if trading on Google maintains under this parallel, we're likely going down to 150, 116, and then eventually 142.24. And if you see here on the chart, that's a longer term trend line that extends all the way back to July of 2023. This area also corresponds with gap fills and other choppy price action that you see on the left-hand side of the chart. Now, one of the other major news events that occurred yesterday was a news notification about tariffs on automobiles. And in response to this, GM now, they produce a lot of their cars here in the United States. However, they do have parts that are shipped in from Canada and Mexico. So we need to understand the language on how and if GM is going to have tariffs placed on their cars. And that's just being rolled. It's been rolled out slowly. And so there was uncertainty. And whenever there's uncertainty in the markets, investors want to get out. And as you see right here, the price action on GM had a great fall today, down 7.36%. But what I think this is doing is giving folks a buying opportunity. Since GM already has plants here in the US, it will take some time for them to convert over and start manufacturing the parts, but that will be on the agenda moving forward. Should price action come down, first area of support tomorrow is going to be at 45.80, followed by this trend line 44.81. But notice right in this zone, there's a big gap fill on the chart right here at $45.22. So I think this is a great buying opportunity for a near-term bounce on GM. Now, should selling pressure persist, 43.61 is the area. And it's always smart whenever you're going into a swing trade to inch into these positions, because oftentimes levels get pierced. There's a lot of euphoria that can push stocks higher. And then there's also folks that get nervous and want to exit, and that pushes stocks right beneath some major trend lines. But ultimately what happens is the TA takes over and the bounce then occurs. So make sure to leg into this position if you are interested in taking a position there with GM. All right, on to some cryptocurrencies, XRP. And this kind of highlights my bearish stance on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is basically the driver of the crypto markets. And so if Bitcoin's going to go down, likely most all altcoins are going to go down too. So what do we have here on XRP? You see, I've got a head and shoulders pattern on XRP, left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. Now we broke here, pierced here, and now this could cancel out a head and shoulders pattern. However, price didn't maintain up above this dotted neckline. So this is still a valid head and shoulders pattern with a targeted measured move all the way down here to $1.15. So that's another element that's telling me crypto could be going down in the future. Now, if we rewind the time, you look back here at this trend line pivot right here that I connected over to this major pivot, and then you can see how that created this area of support, roughly at $1.77. Well, that area was already tested with this major fall that you see here. This trend line basically was kissed, not giving it as much strength as it would have it not have already been tested. So when and if price action comes back down, I think this trend line still could provide support, but it would be minor support. And then the next target would be $1.49, followed by that measured move of $1.15. Anybody wanting to get into XRP, that in essence is your buy zone and your target for your strategy to go long on XRP. Next up, we got Solana. Solana here also is showing some bearish consolidation on the chart. Look at the fashion, and here's some great TA for you. Look at the fashion of how stocks fall. We have fall, consolidation, another fall, consolidation, much like you're taking stair steps going down on the chart. And that's exactly what's occurring here at the bottom of this chart. You see, we had a fall, major pop in euphoria, then all of a sudden, a correction. So in essence, all of this is just still one of those stair steps, and then another fall and stair step with a reflex bounce. So we have resistance on Solana right here at this inclining trend line at $150.41. But when and if selling pressure persists and comes back, we do have a support area right here with this trend line at $115.70. And then I'll give you another insight too. Look at this horizontal trend line that we have right here. Notice how I connected it to one of the high pivots here. And when price broke up above it, What did it do? It came back and retested that line. A lot of people get FOMO with crypto because it can make really big moves. You're talking about 80% moves, even from this move right here. Look at this move right here, 158%. Crypto can have fantastic breakouts, but ultimately, if you miss it, don't chase it. Wait for a technical retrace. As you see even here on the trend lines, price action came back down here into the support area. That's your area to buy. Don't FOMO and start buying just because price action's going up. You take out the emotions, analyze the chart, find a level. Now back to this horizontal trend line. You see here, I've connected this over. This area had a high pivot, and then it had retested here. That tells me this area is a major area of support on the chart. Now that's all the way down at $79.30. Could price go there? Potentially. But you always have to have that in mind when you're investing in any of these cryptocurrencies or any stock. Where could price go if I'm wrong? And if you're a hodler and trying to hold the position for a long time, this will help you analyze and understand great levels to add to get into these positions and make a profit. Now, I do want to go ahead and explain to you, we've got a great sponsor here with Blowfin. Blowfin is a crypto exchange that we use to trade cryptocurrencies live. And it's so much fun trading live day trading in stocks, but we also do live day trading with crypto. Blowfin enables us to do that. Check out this sponsorship commercial with Lawton, and you'll find out some more information there.
Hey guys, Lawton here with Verified Investing here for another Blowfin video. So let's just hop in. Last time I showed you how to make a trade on Blowfin, but let's go a little bit deeper. I want to look at all the different pairings that Blowfin has. So all the things you're able to trade. Jelly, Plume, Vine, Melania, Trump, Coin, tons and tons of different things. You're able to sort by hot coins, by meme coins like Penguin, and something I really like that I didn't talk about last time is copy trading. So what copy trading is you can find somebody you like. Let's say I like this guy called Poppy Churro. I click on that and I'm able to copy his trade. So whenever he takes a trade, I will automatically take it with him. I can see his profit and loss, his return on investment, and his current success rate. Of course, he's going to take a cut of the winnings, but if his win rate is high and his profits are good, I have nothing to worry about. Thank you again to Blowfin for sponsoring us, and we'll see you next time.
One of the great features about Blowfin, they use charts that mimic TradingView. So we use TradingView all the time in here. It's so easy to navigate these charts. Blowfin makes it easy to go ahead and make day trades with crypto. As Lawton said, longing and shorting positions, getting out real fast. It's a lot of fun to use. Anyway, that brings me to the close. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Drew Dosek, pro trader here at Verified Investing. I look forward to bringing you guys some more information next week. Until then, you guys have a great weekend. Thanks again.